Blog Talk Radio.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Sunny D. Welcome to tonight's show. Clay, you want to say hi?
What's going on, good people? You already know what it is. It's your boy Clint. Got a great show lined up for y'all tonight. Ready to get to it.
Yes, we got a lot to talk about. I'm really excited for this topic. It's much needed.
Yeah.
So, if you're listening right now, you're on. Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't say it today's date. It's September 26, 2019. And if you're listening right now, you're on blogtalkradio.com/GFT radio show. You're listening to the playback, you're either on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, YouTube, where else? Oh, and you can be listening to the playback later on blogtalkradio.com. But if you guys want to call in, phone number is 657-383-1155. And if you want to chime in via Twitter, it's at GFT_radio. So, Clint, you came up with this topic too, right?
Yeah.
Join between you and me.
I was basically, you know what I mean, having a conversation with a couple of my boys, and I was like, you know, that we're continuing to have the same conversations that our parents and grandparents had, that previous generations of black people would have, whether it returned to personal relationships, political issues. It's like we're repeating the same thing over and over, having the same conversations, which means we really aren't learning and improving. Because if we were, you know what I mean, we would be furthering the conversation. We would be, you know what I mean, moving the conversation forward. But, you know, it seems like in our communities right now we're stagnated, and we're continuing to have the same conversations over and over and over again. You know, I remember I was online and I was having a, you know, discussion online with a few people on IG, and I told them, I was like, I feel like I had failed my daughter if, you know what I mean, 20 years from now, she's still having the same conversations about relationships or the black community or political issues. If she's still having those same conversations then that we're having now, that means we failed. That means we just wasting time. What have we done in our time? You know what I mean? We haven't taught our kids anything. And that's my first, you know what I mean, I guess, bullet point you want to say as far as furthering the conversation. It's like, you know, we keep talking about in our communities how they're deteriorating, how the youth is lost and all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at what point are we going to talk about, you know, the poor, and this may sound a little harsh, but the poor parenting skills within the black community? You feel me? I see it every day. You know what I mean? I know a lot of it comes from kids raising kids. You know what I mean? The breakdown of the family structure. You feel me? A lot of absentee parents, fathers, mothers. You know, so a lot of people have poor outlooks on parenting, or, you know what I mean, really don't parent their kids at all. You feel me? It's like, and it's been going on since we was young. I you know what I mean? I have friends whose parents just let them just do anything.
Yeah.
You understand?
They didn't really have
always
rules and regulations like how we did.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that. You feel me? We always want to talk about outside factors that are decimating our community. That, you know what I mean? We always want to talk about how the system is set up against us. It's like we already know that. We know that now. So, you know what I mean? When are we going to control what we can control? When are we going to start talking about that? When are we going to basically start taking accountability for what we're going through or what we're doing in our own communities?
I agree. Like you
You feel me? Go ahead.
No, because I know growing up, our mom was strict. We couldn't do a lot of stuff. or our friends were able to do a lot of stuff. And, growing up when your parents were real strict, you got picked on. But then you see the struggles your friends go through, and they kind of want the parent that you have because their parent is not showing them that they care. They're able to do what they want, but at the same time, they want somebody to tell them not to do stuff and to guide them rather than let them do whatever. Like, there's always a look back of that.
True. That definitely goes on. I know people who, I've grown up with people who envy, when you have friends with fathers wanting in their life consistently or at all, and those of us who fathers were there, you can tell sometimes it was a little, like, damn. I don't want to say envy, but in some instances it was envy. In other instances it was just like, damn. And it wasn't always, like we talked about before. It wasn't just that some of the parents were absent. Some parents had died or whatever. You know what I mean? That was traumatic. So there's no way they can get that back. You know what I mean? So, I know a lot of people in our community go through that. But my thing is, when it comes to parenting, period, it's like, I feel like we're not, I want to know the culture. I feel like black culture, so to speak, is very negative at this point in time. It's very negative. Not everybody, but for the majority, like our culture is very negative, and we filled with a lot of distrust in our community. It ain't, how we talked about before, like we don't have that neighborly love.
Yeah, now it's not like how it was when we was kids.
Yeah, it's like we don't have that neighborly love. It's a lot of distrust. It's a lot of, angst and animosity amongst neighbors. So it's like it's hard to even say we're a community when we really don't trust each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember growing up, like in our neighborhood, people had problems. At the end of the day, everybody knew everybody. If you did something wrong, somebody's parent could probably chastise you and tell you they were going to tell your mom on you because they were watching what you were doing. And now it's not like that. Like, it's so different. It's like you can't say anything to anybody's kids because it's going to be a problem. I experienced that a lot with working with kids. You address the kids, and like I think I said on one of the past shows, when they just opened the high school and they were asking people not to bring outside food and stuff into the auditorium, whereas parent got into a whole argument with the security guard. And it's like the parent's not respecting the rules, so why would the kid do it?
Exactly.
Like, we have to be better in order to be able to teach our kids properly. Because when you look at these kids that are running around, you got kids that are either running around because they don't really have supervision, and they're acting out because they want somebody to pay attention to them, because that's the only way to get somebody to pay attention to them, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. And then you got the ones that are bad because their parents don't know no better. They didn't teach them any better. So when you meet the family, you understand why this kid is that way. And it's hard to change somebody that's parents allowing them to continuously act a fool and with no repercussions to it.
And I guess that's my question. How do we address that issue?
Well, that starts at home. We have to learn to be better parents.
But yeah, and that's what I'm saying. How do we address the issue of parents and without, like, you know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, like, that's a discussion that need to be had on a huge scale. You feel me? Because, and a lot of people gonna get offended. Don't tell me how to raise my kids, this, that, and the third. But it's like the proof is in the pudding. You know what I mean? Like, look at our situation as a community. It ain't good.
Mhm.
It ain't good. You know what I mean? Especially in the inner cities, you just look outside. Like, how can you be proud of our predicament? You feel me? We can't just keep pointing fingers. Like, a lot of it has to do with, you know what I mean, even when it goes to look at the inner city schools. You know, we always want to blame whatever administration's in office and whatever board of education you got in your area. We always want to blame them. But, you feel me, a lot of parents aren't involved in the schooling of their kids. You feel me?
Yeah.
They let the school teach them, and then that's it. When they come home, they don't, you know what I mean,
Do
nothing.
it
They don't read to their child. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do you...
It's actually crazy. I just had a conversation with somebody. It was something minor. It was like, it was something about bank accounts for the kids. And I was explaining them, like, and they said to me, I was explaining to them why my daughter had a bank account at an earlier age. I know my mom got me a bank account once I started working too. She kind of took me to the bank, explained to me certain things. The bank explained to me that. So I got that responsibility early on in my early teens when I was working. And my daughter, I reciprocated that with her daughter. Well, my daughter, at least. And I was talking to this parent about their kid doing that because, they working, they need money. It's easier to send money, and they'll kind of get them used to maintaining an account, like, learning something outside of school. And they were like, well, you had to learn that because your mom was a single parent, which my mom necessarily wasn't a single parent until I was much older, but for the most part, it was her and my stepdad. But she still taught us how to be responsible. So I, in turn, showed my daughter because I was a single parent and I wanted to make sure that if something ever happened to me, she knows outside of the school books how to do certain things for herself. So, but they basically said to me they figured because I was a single parent, that's why I learned it, so I had to show her. And I feel like that's just being a parent. You have to show your kids other things like manners, respect, how to do things, how to conduct themselves when they're out in public. Just different responsibilities, washing clothes, chores. I know that's a biggie. I didn't get my daughter chores until she got way older because it was just me and her. So I was just doing a lot of stuff. It wasn't that she didn't know how to do it, it's that she wasn't required to do it. The only thing she was required to do was clean her room. Other than that, I was doing everything else. But she knew how to do stuff. She knows how to wash her clothes now. Well, she didn't know how to do that, but I showed her how to do it. But for the better part, I was doing it for her, and then eventually I was like, you on your own.
Mhm.
But we grow up in a society now where a lot of these kids don't have chores. Like I said, I'm guilty of that.
And me too, to an extent. And we talked about that on a previous show. Are we raising entitled kids? And I mean, are we raising an entitled generation? I mean, we spoke specifically to that, and we kind of, in my opinion, like we are. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Kids are too entitled. They feel like they don't have to earn anything. You feel me? Criticize them just a little bit. They want to break down. You know what I mean? They can't take criticism. Like, that's our fault as a community because we think everything should be made easy for them. Like, they don't have to earn nothing. Like, everything should just be handed to them on a silver platter. And, like, that's not how life works. That's not how life works. You know what I mean? But it's also another point conversation in our community that I wanted to get to. And that's homosexuality in our community.
Okay.
For the longest, you know what I mean, we keep having this conversation and like, for some reason, when you hear these little talks, these interviews on these shows and people talk, they make it seem like it's a big secret. within the black community. And from my perception, you know what I mean, it's a lie. It's like we all know within the black community it has been around forever. You know what I mean? We have been exposed to it. We have seen it forever. So, you know what I mean? We have to stop acting like it's some big surprise. Yes, it's more in our face now, especially in media and on TV. But in our day-to-day life, you know what I mean? If we're honest with ourselves, we've seen it all the time. You feel me? Like, it's not new to me. And at this point, you feel me? It's like we need to just shed that I guess that stigma that, now I hate the word homophobia in the black community. Like, you know what I mean? I hate that word because, you know what I mean, to me, you know what I mean, just because somebody doesn't agree with your lifestyle, it has nothing to do with fear. You know what I mean? But I think we're at the point where we should have that conversation. It's like, all right, it's been around forever. It's been in our community forever. Like, let's stop shying away from the subject and just accept, you know what I mean, that's some people's lifestyle. That's how they, you know what I mean, that's who they are at the end of the day. You know what I mean? If that's not you, cool. If you don't agree with it, cool. You don't have to. Nobody's obligated, you know what I mean, to agree with anyone's lifestyle. You feel me? But at some point, we have to have that, you know what I mean, just shed that stigma in our community, or stop like we're hushing it, hush, or it's not hush anymore. It's not hush anymore. You know what I mean? Like, we've been talking about it for decades now.
Yeah, or acting like it's just not there.
Yeah, but we know it's there. For instance, when it was like when they was talking about brothers on the DL or whatever, I mean, that conversation was like 20 years ago. When we was in high school, junior high, when they would start talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like so at the end of the day, like come on. And even before then, we had already knew it. As kids growing up, you hear stories and we see, like, we could observe, you know what I mean? And if it's always been going on, then I mean, like, why do we continue to try to
cover it up?
Shun it. Yeah, cover it up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, that gotta stop.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you don't have to necessarily accept it. If that's not what you believe in, whether it's religion, you don't live that lifestyle and all that stuff, that's totally fine. Like, and we did talk about this on past shows about how it's basically being shoved down our throats. But at the end of the day, you don't have to, like, I agree with you, you don't, just because you don't believe certain things, whatever, that doesn't mean that you have to be labeled a homosexual, whatever case may be. At the end of the day, you just have to work, like, what did you always say, mind your business?
Yeah.
It's that simple. It got nothing to do with you. What they're doing has nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they're not bothering you, you're fine.
Yeah. Like, and you know, on this show, I said it plenty of times, it's an agenda. You feel me? It's an agenda out there, but I'm talking about as far as media and TV shows and a way to inseminate the black man. Like, I always feel that way. I still feel that way. Like, it don't change. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean, the issue still has to be addressed. You know what I mean? That, you feel me, got to be able to compartmentalize, like, all right, it's still there. You know what I mean? We can't, you know what I mean? We got to address it at some point. If you don't address it, you feel me, it's going to just become a bigger issue and a bigger problem. You know what I mean? At some point, we all got to coexist.
Yeah, I think, and that makes it harder for these kids that are going through that, be it gay, bisexual, whatever, having identity, gender identity issues and stuff, not as the issues, they having that going on within them, it makes it like harder. But I think it makes it harder for them to be themselves. And in 2019, it's just like, and I get it. As parents, we might not want our kids to be a certain type of way. We want them to be how we want them to be, but at the end of the day, they're going to be whoever they're going to be. So it's no point, like, back in the day, they hid it. Back in the day, it was this big deal about people remaining in the closet, not really being themselves, hiding who they were. This is why you have some men on the down low and this, that, and the third. And it's just what it is for that person. And you either going to accept it or reject it. But at the end of the day, that person still has a life to live, and they shouldn't be made to feel less than or have to be hidden to be accepted. Like I said, this is, like they always say, it's nothing new under the sun. So it's been around. This is not new just for you and your family. This has been around.
And I think it alleviates so much pressure, because now, you feel me, if they got the environment where they can have a conversation come out, then you don't have to have the issue with the down low brothers tricking the woman, you know what I mean, having a woman but still sleep. You wouldn't have that situation because they wouldn't be scared. You know what I mean? So if they doing that, they just,
who they are.
Exactly. And then, you know what I mean, that just let know who's who. You know what I mean? You can be yourself. That's letting everybody know who's who, and then everybody can stand where they stand.
Yeah.
Instead of just all this confusion. You feel me? Because that's all that creates. It's confusion.
Confusion and separation.
Yep. You know what I mean?
And then that creates problems. And this is that where you can even take it to a race situation where people fear what they don't understand. This is how you not understand it in 2019.
But my thing is, I 100% agree with you. But if they don't want to understand it, that's fine too. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to agree with it. But you know what I mean? You have to accept that it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like certain situations, like you have to accept that it just is. Like that is. It is a part of, that's just a part of humanity. That is, you know what I mean? It has always been here. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So why are we continuing to just, you know what I mean? Like nah, or address it. Then I feel like if it's addressed, then we won't be bombarded with it. You feel me? We won't have them trying to force it down our throats. Pause. You feel me?
Yeah, because they're not being accepted, they're being rejected. So it's like accept us, and now it's all this stuff that's happening because it was so it's the plight of many people. It's they want to be accepted, and when you reject certain things, it's that we gotta go through all this stuff to be accepted. And it's like it's just people being people. Like let's chill.
Mm-hmm.
Let's chill.
Exactly.
All right, you that's fine. As long as you're not hurting, killing nobody or nothing like that, we all should just mind our business and live our lives. But people can't do that.
Facts. That's a fact. We want to
Hold
give out
on.
the
We have
number
a call.
again.
I want to get them in on the line.
Okay, I was just about to give out the number too.
Oh yeah, we got it. Well, you give out the number. I'll add them in as soon as you get done.
All right. If anybody else want to call in, share their opinion. What other topics you feel like the conversation should be further in our communities? The phone number is 657-383-1155. 657-383-1155. Please join the conversation.
Exactly. Hold on, let's get this caller in. Caller, you're on the line with GSP Radio. What's your name and where are you from?
Tanisha Page. I'm from Trenton.
Hello, how are you?
Tanisha,
how are you?
What's going on?
Hey, how are you?
And thank you for
All
calling
right.
in.
So what do you have to share or contribute to the conversation, my dear?
I was just listening to your conversation. Nothing as of right now. I wanted to hear y'all perspective first.
Oh, well, you called in, so we you know what I mean, we want you to join the conversation and be a part of the conversation. So I'm going to ask you a question.
All right.
Okay, how do you think the concept, homosexuality, how do you think homosexuality should be addressed within our community? Do you think it has been the reason why it's been being forced, or seems like it's just overly done in media, news, and in TV shows, is for the fact that we have shunned it or tried to dismiss it for so long? And how do you think we should come to terms with it?
Okay. Like, this is my opinion. How I feel about this. It definitely is a lot. Definitely openly a lot. Much more in social media. It's like they're trying to, how should I say, make it more acceptable, make it more the norm. And to me, it feels like all the pushing and all the political correctness towards homosexuality is like is being forced upon people who don't have that lifestyle. Because if you don't agree with the lifestyle, then you're called a phobia, or there's something wrong with you. And that I don't agree with. Because to me, it's like, why do we have to know what's going on in your bedroom anyway? That's supposed, like, why do we have to know who you sleep with? That's your business. Like, so to announce it to the world, to me is too much.
Okay.
Like, that's your private business.
All right.
So,
See, now you went somewhere. I'm glad. That's a good point. Thank you for that. Now you went somewhere to where when you said about them why they gotta let us know who they sleeping with and all this. See, this is what I always say, and this is what I had to gain through maturity as well. You know what I mean? Why do we always, when we talk about homosexuality or gays, is the first thing that comes to our mind is sex? Why?
yeah.
How come, you feel me, we're not just thinking about, okay, they're just telling you who they want to be with, who they love? It's just, why is it always it has to turn to a sexual conversation? You feel me? Because we don't do that with each other. We're heterosexual, you know what I mean? We say we straight. Just because somebody say they straight, we don't automatically think about who that person's sleeping with or think about what they're doing in their bedrooms. So why do we do that to them?
I'm not saying like I sexualize a homosexual person.
Not you,
it's just
in general. A lot of people do that.
But
I'm not saying you.
It. Yeah, I'm just taking it is because I guess so much that they want all the rights that they want, and they're like, it's like they're being. To me, it's like I don't even think if somebody says that that's what they are, that's what you are. That's okay. That's what you do. That's how I live. That's whatever you do is what you do. But it's when when you try to make it okay over here is when I have a problem. That's and as far as over like who they with and everything, they kind of put it out there like this is what they want to, the normalization with the kissing and trans, even going further, transgender, this and this. So to me, it's kind of like they put that out there.
I think it's more of them see, and this is what the conversation is. This is why we wanted to have this conversation, period, because it's less about them putting out who they are. They just want to be accepted, period. They want to be treated like everybody else. So it's basically, if we as a people in this stage of the game, because this is nothing new. This has been for years, long before we got here. After we leave here, it's going to be here, whatever the case may be. So in 2019, why are they like still fighting to be accepted if we had accepted them from the gate? If we accept people as they are from the gate, then none of this will be any like this. This is a whole entire moot point, because they would have been accepted. They would have been trying to put it out there and basically force feed us to accept them. If we just say, you know what, you are who you are. That's great. Live your life. However you choose to live your life, that's fine. I'm not going to, like, and that was the gist of the situation. They wanted to be able to do the same thing everybody else is doing and not be judged or told they can't do it because of X, Y, Z. It's the same way when we look at black folks. We just wanted to be accepted and have the same rights as white people. So that's the same thing. We fought because we felt we should be treated like everybody else. Period. It shouldn't be a barrier because I can't do X, Y, Z because I'm this. They are in that same line of if black folks were accepted, there would be no need for the civil rights movement. There would be no need for all this uproar and fighting the people losing their lives because they want to be accepted. This is the same thing. So the question is more of a line of if they were accepted from the gate, just like how we wanted to be accepted by just being ourselves and unapologetic ourselves and living our lives without having these stipulations put upon us because of who we are. So if that was originated from the beginning, then there will be none of this that's happening now. There will be none of this gender neutral. There will be none of this, hey, pay attention to me, like it would already be there because it's been there. Regardless of whether or not we accept it, it's always been there. So it's more of that. To see your point, I agree with that. Yeah, so that's what we're trying to get to. So if it's been this way before, if we had accepted them, none of this would be anything. We won't have to be dealing with this same conversation in 2019 that's been going on since forever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, different people mentalities, different people, the way they think. I don't know if some people, they might not accept them. They're going to always probably have to fight. You said what again?
I said it's people that still are having the issue with people of different races. We see that in this political climate, and that's a part of the conversation too. It's like, what are we doing? We're in 2019. Y'all ain't we still on this? We still here?
Here's my thing. Like you said, with 2019, we're still here. They're still gonna be here in 2019. They was
exactly
the same conversation was going on thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years ago. It's the same conversation. If you're religious, if you go back to the Bible, you know all that stuff happened. Thousands of years ago. So that means they was having that conversation way back then. So the conversation is always going to be there. My thing is not even, I don't want to stay on this particular topic too long, but my thing is even about everybody accepting it as far as, you know what I mean? Okay, you don't have, like me and Sonny said, you don't have to agree with it. You feel me? You don't have to support that lifestyle. Yeah. But I think we should just be at the point to where we have to acknowledge that it is there.
Yeah, very agree.
It's always been there. You feel me? So live and let live. That's where I'm at with it at this point in my life. All right, let them live. I don't support that lifestyle. I don't, know what I mean? I'm not a part of that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, live, let live. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As far as on a human level, like, they should be afforded every, you know what I mean, right as anybody else. I don't
Yeah.
understand. I mean, that shouldn't even be a question. You feel me?
I agree with
Do
that.
I like it?
Definitely.
Yeah. Do I like it being forced down our, you know what I mean, everywhere we turn, you know what I mean?
No.
Like it's an agenda. Do I agree with that? Hell no. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? As far as day to day within, reality, and real human connection that we see each other every day, it's like, oh, just living like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of.
Hold on. We have another call. I want to add them in the conversation so they can join in if they want to add into that before we get to another topic. But hold on, okay?
All right.
Mhm.
Caller, you on the line with GFT Radio. What's your name and where you from?
Hey, the name's Pianki. I'm calling from the Midwest.
Hello.
I was going to make a comment
How are
on
you?
this topic. I'm fine. I believe in live and let live. That's one of the reasons why I believe in school choice, where parents should have the right to take their child and put them in the educational environment that they think is best for them, and the allocated money should follow that child. If a parent don't want their child to be in a classroom where you have an openly gay teacher, then that parent should have the right to put their child in another classroom.
Sure.
Now, the whole thing is this, is that you have to respect people, but you don't have to accept them, because people do segregate de facto on their own. I think that you, sir, and I'm just under normal circumstances, I don't know but if you're talking to a female and that female is a lesbian, and other than business, but if you're trying to, carry her, I think she should let you know what she is. And the same thing with you, ma'am. If you're talking to a gentleman and it's going further than just a cordial business conversation, he should let you know, exactly what he does. And also, here's another thing, young man. If you're sitting there talking to what you think is a female, that person should let you know what they are up front.
True indeed.
Yeah.
A lot of them do.
Yeah, because some very serious results can happen from that if it goes too far. So,
yeah, you should definitely not live that life and hide it. If you're going to be who you are, accept that and understand that you have to allow people to decide whether or not they're going to deal with you or not. Because believe it or not, there's people that are okay with that.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're absolutely right. The law says that they got a right to. Now, I don't believe that a biological male should be competing in female sports. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't believe that. I don't believe that a male can go to school, get there 8:00 in the morning, and from 8 to 12 they're female. Then from 12, the time to go home, they're male. I don't believe that should be allowed, because you have some males that will go into the female showers and take a shower with them. Now, people don't want to do those things. So that's where it stands. And you know something else, talking about Black America, 14.7 million belong to the Southern Baptists. Then you got about another 7.5 million that belong to Church of God in Christ, the Reverend Blake, and he has congregations all over the world. Then you got another 3 to 5 million Catholics. Well, in their religious contents, that type of activity is, taboo. And they got a right to believe that, as long as they're not hurting anybody, but they also have a right, like the lady said, if they don't want to associate with you, they don't have to associate with you. If they do, it's fine. And I think if those things was kept in mind, things would pretty much work out pretty good. Oh, by the way, I want y'all, when you get a chance, and to show you how they're going after your kids, look up fifth gate conference, like your fifth on your hand, gate like on a fence, fifth gate conference, and read that and see, aren't you flabbergasted? This is something that happened back in the 2000s. Fifth gate conference. and read what went on at that conference, which happened up in the Northeast in a public school district. All right, fellas, thanks for letting me come on and contribute.
No problem. Thank you for
appreciate
joining.
you. Okay.
Hello?
Appreciate that, caller.
Yeah.
Yeah, we here.
Yeah. I definitely
Okay,
want
you
to
said
kind of shift it over to the one of the things that I definitely want to get to. One of our bullet points was about ignoring mental illness, incest, and child abuse. That's a big thing within. I'm not just going to even say the black community, but because we're talking about our community, I want to gear towards that. I know growing up, I don't know. I know of our age and like probably a little bit older than us, we grew up with the rules of what goes in this house stays in this house. Family business is family business type of necessary thing. Even though stuff was not necessarily correct, it was like they weren't, I don't want to say ignoring it, but they didn't want it shared with the public. So if you knew that Uncle so-and-so was touching on family members, like they kind of dealt with it in the family and didn't really want it to get to a legal standpoint because they didn't want people in their business and stuff like that. And with child abuse like that, and I just feel like, and with mental illness too, you know, they denying that this person actually has a problem. So I think that's a big thing in our community where it's a detriment to our kids. It was a detriment to us growing up and generations prior to us. And if we continue this cycle, you grow up you get these kids growing up that are broken people because they weren't allowed to address certain issues that they should have been able to address, get justice for things that shouldn't have happened to them, and things like that. So I kind of want to gear it towards that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you guys thought?
You asking my opinion on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I grew up in that area where, in our community where things were kept quiet and swept underneath the rug. That things did happen inside the family, and there was really not a lot of probably repercussions. They probably just kept it quiet. And that child or whoever had that issue was probably never got counseling. The stereotype in our community is just like, okay, if there is a mental issue or you need counseling, that's kind of like you're not supposed to have those type of issues, so just pray on it. It's kind of how it was, or go to church or do something like that. But counseling was definitely frowned upon.
And you really couldn't talk about it because they didn't want you bringing it up within the family.
What was that? Oh yeah, definitely you can't. Say what. And the crazy thing is, this person do this stuff, but yet you still allow that person to still be around different family members.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't happen. Like, I'm not talking from experience, but I know these things, and it's just sad, because people, to me, if you need counseling, you need to get it. And if somebody's doing something, family and all, they need to be held accountable for it. Because you're showing those people that are the victims that they are not worthy of, getting justice taken for them. And that this is a norm when it's definitely not.
Yeah. Quite?
Yeah. You already know how I feel about this. Like, I feel like we, for too long, is just, that hush-hush lifestyle within our community as far as, child abuse, child neglect, sexual abuse, whatever, a whole lot of abuse goes on within, within these walls and a lot of these houses that, a lot of kids are suffering from that they're never, they have to endure their whole childhood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
or they feel like,
and until until they able to get big enough to fight back. You know what I mean? You feel me? They have to deal with it, or if something, you know, sometimes I know a girl. The only thing that saved her is the person that was abusing her died.
Yeah.
Just suddenly died. You feel me? And that was the only reprieve, only, you know what I mean, only way she was able to get free from that situation. You know what I mean? And nobody believed her even when she did spoke up.
But even the resentment the child might have towards the parent or the guardian for allowing it to go on. And then different behaviors start coming out, and they just blaming that child on this, look what you allowed to happen, without addressing it.
And it's so much, because, you know, you mentioned child abuse, sexual abuse, or incest, but also, I mean, like, you know what I mean, domestic violence that kids have to see.
Yeah.
You feel me? You know what I mean? Both ways. Whether it's, you know what I mean, dad beating mom hitting on dad, feel me, the physical abuse. We talked about all that types of domestic violence, all the types of ways domestic violence occurs, or the different types of domestic violence, you know what I mean? Verbal abuse, you know what I mean? A lot of these kids go home and they're getting verbally abused by, you know, parents or a single parent that's under a lot of pressure. So it creates, you know what I mean, a kid don't know where to go. So you, like Tanisha said, and when you work in the school, Tanisha, like where, you know, these kids act out.
Yeah. And so you don't know, like, and from the education part of view, we only see that half of it. We don't know, you know, like the other side. We don't know if what that kid woke up to in the morning. We just see the kid coming in and exhibiting certain behavior.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like, so for me, this hits. For me, this whole thing is like it's real life for me. Like, this is personal experience and stuff. So I basically grew up in a household a household in a family where a lot of stuff was going on. So you get in different situations and on different sides of on sides of this type of spectrum. And from personal experience, you grow up, like, for me, as far as sexual assault, that happened to me, and I spoke up, and it was flipped on me. And then I found out as an adult that it had happened before with this person, did it to somebody else in the family, and because they hushed it, it happened to me. And when I tried to speak up, I got shut down, and it was like that. Like Tanisha said, it was that resentment because you feel like you don't matter. And then when I started working with kids, because I was working with kids doing Project Smile and mentoring and tutoring, and I would see certain kids would walk through the door. Their behavior reminded me of me during that time in my life. And so when I would sit there, like, I remember this one little girl, me and her had I just pulled her to the side, me and her had a conversation that you would not believe.
Wow.
And I just her behavior, I saw me and her, and we just had a conversation, and I just sat there, and then I was like, do you mind if I go talk to your grandmother with you? And me and her had a kind of, like, she was like, yeah, because she wanted to tell her grandmother what was going on and stuff. And when we went and talked to her grandmother, like, it was the cycle repeating itself. It was a burden on a child. It was, you know, and then when I see this girl as an adult, she's a broken person. And it's that cycle of, like, I know how I am with my kids. I'm very protective. I don't send them places. They don't really go with everybody. And I'm leery of people, even the people that are currently in my lives. I still, like, I won't really leave them around unattended because it's that worry. And it's like, you don't want those things to happen to your kid, because even if it happens to you as a kid, or you're dealing with, like you said, domestic violence, or watching that, sometimes you as a kid, like, I don't think us parents or our people before us understood, or they was too locked into that domestic violence situation that they didn't realize that it does have a lasting effect on kids. We either going to, if it's a boy, he's going to exhibit it because that's what he saw in the household. Or these kids see that as love, so they think it's normal because that's all they know, and it's repeated.
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful, and, like, even with mental abuse or gaslighting we talked about on past shows. Our kids, if we got kids in that situation, they are watching this. And we have to be mindful as parents to break the cycle. And if something happens, get our kids to the point where they're speaking to us so that we can get them help. Because you got kids that's going through stuff like this and nobody is paying attention to them, whether they're acting out. And that's the main thing I saw working with kids is they act out because they want attention. They're not getting it at home. And they're craving that attention because that's the only way they're going to get attention. And it's a cry for help. Something's wrong, but they know they can't really say anything, so they're just going to keep acting like they don't got no sense. But they do. You know what I'm saying? They're just going through whatever they're going through.
It also could be if they are being abused. It could be the anger.
Yeah.
That they're
it's
not,
just pure frustration.
Yeah. Now, question for you. Like, I know that the older generation is hush-hush. I don't think that attitude is so dominant now because Black people are they are having more mental awareness. They are going through counseling. It's not looked at, frowned upon now as it was like back then. So do you think that hush hush attitude is more dominant now still?
No, because we're in the culture of the Me Too movement, where you're able to speak up now. But even like I said, when you get to those situations and you speak up, that whole process is it tears people down because you have to go once you go to the court of law. Anything you've done in your entire life is being brought up.
Yeah.
So it's basically you have to mentally prepare to be tore down and still persevere to get that goal of getting justice. So it's that it's preparing them for that. But I think now it's more of now people are willing to speak up.
Yeah. I think it's still the same. I don't think nothing really changed.
Really?
I don't think it. If anything, I think it may be worse.
How you come with that idea?
It may be worse because we're in the age of social media justice, and you know what I mean, it's microwave justice, to where it look good, everybody talk about it, but are you really seeing it day to day outside? And I don't see it. I don't see it. What I do see is more and more people with mental issues, with trauma, from childhood trauma. I see these kids experiencing a lot more things, and I feel like it's even more hush hush now because it's different. It's different. I mean, we're in a different age, so like it's nothing new under the sun, but it is different on how it's done. You know what I mean? So we can get fooled in being like, all right, it ain't like it used to be, but that doesn't mean it's better. You feel me? Because these kids still fear of being ridiculed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so,
especially I think
like
around men.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, we talk about that too, about men, it's hard for them to come forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially that's why I came up with the slogan for our T-shirts on protect our boys. You know what I mean, as well, because you look at a lot of reports, you can Google it, like a lot of boys are more molested or experience that type of stuff at home than girls.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know
And I
what I
think
mean?
Before
we
it
just
would
get
be
concerned
about,
with our girls.
yeah, I think that before it was just like always protect the girls, protect the girls, leaving the boys out there when these sick people are taking the boys as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I still don't feel, I still don't think wearing a young man, you know, come out and tell you feel me. That's why I like this conversation. We need to be able to have a space where young men can come out or young boys to come out and say if they're being abused in the house or what have you, without being ridiculed. You know what I mean? Without being looked at as soft.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this not just from older people, but from their own from their peers. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's the ridicule that hit these kids the most. Not from adults. It's from their peers.
Yep, and
You know
children
what I
can
mean?
be very cruel.
That's why you get those.
Yeah.
It's acceptable for the boys to be like when you see all these teachers going to jail for sleeping with these students, boys. And
I
stuff,
don't even
and
know
it's
how that's possible.
And it's like, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
but it's boys, and like, you know, they like, oh, you slept with Miss So and So, and they think it's a big thing, and that's not realizing that that's a crime. I mean, whether they realize it or not, they don't equate that to a crime. It's like, oh, you got
Because,
it, you got an older woman.
Yeah.
Like there's something wrong with that.
Because a boy, because a young man in a man's body isn't as valued as much as a young girl, a young woman's body.
Mm.
You feel me? Like we're not valued the same. You feel me? That's why it's harder for young men, or you know what I mean. Even that's why we think it's okay. You feel me? That's looked at as a badge of honor. You feel me? Not realizing that young man, he's just as immature as that little 14-year-old girl. He's just as naive. You feel me? He's just as gullible. You know what I mean? So when a grown man seduces a young girl, and there's no, you feel me, that when a grown woman seduces a young boy, that same energy should be matched. It should be the same.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I told you about that situation when I was at my little brother's basketball game, and one of the ladies, I don't know if she was related to him, like an aunt or whatever, and she was just screaming out, look at my nephew, so handsome and looking so good out there, you know what I mean? And like, you know what I mean, almost to the point where it's like, all right, it's a little overboard, little, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
extra, you know what I mean? Because if an uncle was to say that about his niece out there performing, we'll be looking at it like he crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why he sexualizing that girl like that? But we don't look at him as that young boy as being sexualized. You feel me? So, like, that's why I said I still don't believe nothing changed. Because we still have that mentality. That mentality is still prevalent. Still prevalent. You know what I mean? It's even worse now. Just listen to the music. Just listen to the music that these young kids listen to, and that these, you know what I mean? It's even more graphic now than it was when we had graphic songs back in our day.
Yeah.
You feel me? They even more graphic now.
Very much.
What's the hot song? I don't give a fuck about a nigga. You know what I mean? Like, see how they coming now? That's the girls though. The women coming like that now. You feel me? Before it was just like, you know, you had a little Kim C center fight. Now, like all these new acts, a lot of these young women, like, you feel me? They talking just as reckless and just as, you feel me? So,
yeah,
like, I don't see nothing has changed. You know what I mean? Nothing hasn't changed because we're still having this conversation. You feel me? It's the same conversation my parents was having, or the teachers that was my age when I was in school. You know what I mean? That they was having.
Hold on, guys. We got another caller. caller. You're on the line with GFT Radio. What's your name? Where you from?
What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building.
Oh, hey, Willie.
What's good, Willie? What's good, bro?
Willie.
What's good, y'all? I just joined in, so I haven't caught up on where y'all at right now. But carry on.
Oh, no. Well, we was talking about. Actually, we had a caller on, Tanisha, a friend of mine. She actually asked us a question, so we let her ask you the same question. Go ahead, Tanisha, ask her that question. Ask the brother Willie that question.
All right. And then Willie, we were talking about incest in our community, and was it like molestation, and how the families, they keep it hush hush and sweep it underneath the rug, or like, when you need mental illness or counseling, how that's frowned upon. My question was, do you think in today's society now that attitude is still dominant, or that we come away from that?
Oh, okay. Welcome to the show, Tanisha. Thanks for joining us. I know my family went through that. You got the uncle upstairs hitting away. You got the cousin that nobody talk about, but we know not to go around them when we was little kids, that kind of thing. And have we got away from it? I know in my family some of us have faced those demons, some of us have faced those traumas, and either talked about it or maybe even sought counseling for it, that kind of thing. But has it been totally exorcised and removed from the family as a whole in terms of the black family? I don't know. I can't really say that I believe that it's completely removed, because you still see it happening, right? You still see news reports, you still see things going on, and I kind of have this feeling, maybe because of the traumas that I went through and that family members of mine have gone through, of knowing that people have swept that stuff under the rug, people have hidden that thing, that kind of thing, and not talked about it. And the sad part is when you think it's a particular type of person or a particular relative, and then it's something else. It's something more covert and misunderstood. There was female cousins of mine that touched us, and that there was cousins that were involved in things. And so it was like people that you didn't realize, because you just thought it was just that one person, or you kind of knew but you didn't know. The stories float around. So I think that it just depends on the family. If the family has faced those demons, or faced those traumas, and have decided that enough is enough, then I believe that in that family it's out of there. But I think it's subjective. I think it's very subjective. Just because I know that in the city of Detroit, we've had news stories and cases here at a place called the Children's Center, and just heartbroken, because watching young people half my age or a quarter of my age have to grow up and be be quickly grown up because they've been molested, or they've been traumatized, or they've been touched, or they've been raped, and they've just I met this young lady I think she was 24 at the time. This was about 6 years ago, or no, I take it back, about 4 years ago. She was like 24 at the time, and she was describing the story and in terms of the grandmother and the aunts molesting her and her brother, and it was terrifying, because these are the people you trust. These are the people that you put so much trust in, the people that are supposed to be watching you. I'm sorry, I'm doing air quotes. They're supposed to be watching you and supposed to be protecting you, and they're the ones damaging you, and they're the ones taking advantage of you because you're a baby or because you're a young person. So I think it's definitely subjective.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I definitely I agree with Willie. You know what I mean? Willie, I said my thought on it was like I feel like it's gotten worse. The hush hush. I feel like it's gotten worse because, you know, like everything, you know what I mean? Like it looked good on social media. It looked everybody talking about, you know what I mean, speak up and all that. But, you know, social media shows you they go on to write the next story, you know what I mean, the next day. You feel me? We all gung ho for something, and then as soon as the next issue come up, we're on to that. And it's just like that in the communities. You know what I mean? Like we tell them to speak up, but we don't really want them to speak up because we don't really want to face those demons. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
We don't really want to because
Right.
you know what I mean? I think it's natural. It's just human nature, and it's not just when black people. Human nature is always going to look to cope, the easiest way to cope. You know what I mean? So a lot of times the easiest way to cope is to try to act like nothing's happened. You feel me?
Right, exactly. That's true.
Yeah,
I mean, it's easy to hide stuff like that, right? You know what I mean? Because you sweep, like you say, you sweep it under the rug. You hide it from public eye. You know, a lot of this stuff goes unreported. It goes you know, it's not talked about. It's not tackled head on, and you know, people want to believe that it may be a one-time thing, or that it's something that didn't happen. It's just in the kid's imagination, you know, whatever it may be. So I think, like you said, I think it's one of those things that is easy to ignore, and like you said, act like it didn't happen to comfort the people who are outside of it, right? You know, who are just only indirectly affected. You know, not the survivors. The survivors go on to become damaged. You know, become problems to society, problems to themselves, you know, problems to their future families, that kind of thing, you know.
Facts.
Yeah, like I said, they become broken and damaged people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who a lot of times don't get counseling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now another thing, because we are in our after show, but I want to, you know what I mean, still tackle another bullet point. Financial, and we supposed to, because we discussed this as a you know what I mean, as a in one of our either pre-production or post-production shows, where it was just us, to where we want to do some shows on financial literacy. And you know, we're going to get to that, but one of the topics here is poor financial illiteracy in our community. You know what I mean? And how, as a community, we're bad with money. Like we're consumers. We're you know what I mean, way more consumers than we are producers or sellers, so to speak, and how that has how our culture, so to speak, has held us back financially. You know what I mean? To where, you know what I mean?
No generational wealth.
Yeah, no generational wealth, none of that. And we're so concerned about keeping up with the Joneses. We're so more concerned about looking good than actually being good. And on, you know, I just wanted to talk about how, you know, why is it so hard for us to, you know, spread the black dollar within the black community? You know what I mean? To where with other communities, they don't really have that issue, no matter how much they bicker amongst themselves. You feel me? They still spend amongst themselves. But with us, for some reason, we don't have that. I don't know. We don't have that same mindset.
in my opinion, is like, well, first, I think it's like a mistrust within our own community. And then on top of that one, even if you, and then even if you do see, a Black-owned business, a lot of times your own is always trying to get over, like, all right, well, you know me, lower the price, lower your standards so I can get more and stuff like that. So how do that business profit if they're allowing everybody to be, reduced and everything else? But I think it also
to get the
stems
hook
from
up.
mistrust. Yeah. So the first I would say is mistrust.
I agree 100% with that. And then we have to not only for people that look just like us, our brown and Black folk, to when you have a business and you choose to be an entrepreneur, open up your own business, you have to you have to be mindful of your I don't want to say your approach, but your customer service.
Okay.
Yes, we talk about other places, establishment, they have bad people with bad customer service and stuff like that. You in order to get people to support your business, you have to be professional. Yeah, all businesses have bad days. Some businesses hire people they shouldn't hire, but we have to be like, if I'm going to support your business, I need you to be professional. So if you're a party planner and I want you to plan my party and I'm willing to actually pay you at the rate that you charge everybody else, I need you to do what you're supposed to do and not have an attitude when I'm asking you to do what you're supposed to do. Not saying that that's with everybody, but I personally try to support, like, my friends have different businesses all the time, and I support my friends. But if I'm going to send people your way, you have to have that customer service. You need to be mindful of your customers, be respectful and professionalism. Yeah, because if I say, hey, to so and so do hair, can you come do her hair, and you are unprofessional with it, like, why would they're gonna look at me like, why you refer me to this person?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, basically, have your shit together. I mean, it's the bottom line, and that's I mean, some people want a handout from a consumer standpoint when it comes to Black businesses, and then some people want a handout when they're the business side of it, when they're a Black business. Like, you should just come patronize me because I'm a Black business, and it's like, it doesn't work that way. You have to, like you said, you have to come correct. You have to have your customer service in order. You have to have your products in order. You have to be organized. You have to, present yourself as a business. Be serious about it. And that's one thing I think I've seen in certain situations. Like you said, it's not everybody. It's not all situations.
Yeah, because I've known some Black. I have friends that got Black businesses where their business is dope.
Right.
Can you repeat that?
I said I know a lot of my friends have different businesses, and when I tell people to go support them, they get like they're dope. They about their business. They do what they're supposed to do. There's no questions asked. Like, I got friends that make cakes. I got friends that are party planners. I got friends that do real estate. So if I say X, Y, Z, oh, you looking for a house, call this person, they can help you fix your credit. Like, they on point. So I'll support you. Like, if I know you like that, I'm telling everybody to come your way.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be.
Yeah. I feel like the standard. You feel me? When we set a standard, it should be applied to all.
Across the board.
You feel
exactly.
me? Across the board. It should be across the board. So you know what I mean? Good service is good service, no matter what. So me with my little business, I try to provide good service. You know what I mean? Customer service with mine. You know what I mean? That's how I've been able to, you know what I mean, get constant or consistent patrons, or, you know what I mean, people who consistently call me, because I try to be good with my customer service. You know what I mean? And provide a good service. Also, you know what I mean? I just think when you know what I mean, as far as the literacy part of it, you know, I don't think that's promoted enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we too caught up on trying to look fly, trying to look the part. You know what I mean? It ain't a problem looking the part if you got it like that. But I think we you know what I mean? I think that we got to get that out of our you know, we always see the memes and the little pictures of, like, they'll show somebody with, like, Bill Gates or Warren Buffett and how they dress, and they'll be like, man, they worth, like, you know what I mean, all these billions of dollars, but they only got on, like, a $40, $50 outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, somebody, you know what I mean, net worth probably like $1,000, but they got on a $2,000 outfit. You know what I mean? With chains, and you know what I mean? Like
all that 1,000 network though.
You know what I mean? It's like that in the community. It's like that.
Like project
living,
it is.
But got a whole bunch of living in the projects. Like, get your life together.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like you fellas.
Exactly. And I think we need to stop. But it's been promoted. That type of financial ignorance has been promoted for so long that we think that's how it should be.
And it's also glamorized in songs. That type of lifestyle.
True.
Right, songs, videos, movies, TV shows, they glamorize it everywhere. You know, it's crazy because you know, for people, and it doesn't stop at clothes. It's like, I mean, just living outside of your means in general, or not having community property. One thing that I saw recently, well, not recently, probably a couple years ago, was a thing talking about how certain cultures, you know, they live together. You know, the family will live together in one home, and not until everybody can afford a certain level of home or a certain level of accommodations will anybody move out. You know, they'll build together until, you know, they all have the means to move out on their own and do that. And even if they don't, they live, you know, immaculate lifestyle because of the fact that they're cool and you know, and community, everything together.
Yeah. Well, with our community, we quick. As soon as we turn 18, we out. Don't know how we gonna make it. Yeah, quick to move out.
Exactly. Yep.
That makes me feel bad.
Out.
I keep telling my daughter. That makes me feel bad. I told my daughter she's getting out at 18. On her birthday.
I'm not saying that's exactly.
No, I'm just saying. I told her she getting an eviction notice. It's gonna be either her attitude got to get out in 30 days. Somebody got to go. Because you can't be grown in my house with an attitude and ain't paying no bills. Like, I need you to figure it out.
But I do also have I have a friend like that who she raised her girls like that. Like, and she told them all growing up, like, as soon as you turn 18, like, you're out, and really meant it. So either they had to go to school or, you know, get a really good job and get out on their own, but she really meant it. But both girls, they both, you know, made their way, but they was out by 18.
Oh, no, my daughter, she ain't going nowhere, but I keep threatening her, and I be telling her I mean it, but I just want her to understand her attitude sucks, and that, you know, she could be homeless at any given time.
Yeah.
She knows she ain't going nowhere, but I'm just saying, like, you gotta. I need her to grow up. That's as simple as it is. Like,
yeah.
Because when you grow up and you go out in the whole world, they're not accepting that nonsense.
No.
Right.
Well, Sonny,
but I think another thing that we need to teach our kids is to be able to be prepared to do something like that. I mean, you know, like one thing I told my kids, and we made it a good example for my kids was, you know, being entrepreneurs, having your own business, you know, doing something that you can, you know, survive on when there is no jobs available. And, luckily most of them have taken heed to that and have either started their own businesses or they're looking to do their own thing. So, it's great. But, I think as a community we have to promote that and push that. I mean, my dad did that for me and my sister. I'm doing that for my kids. I've seen some of my siblings and my cousins do that for their kids, where it's like, we realize these jobs are a dime a dozen, but we're expendable, so we need to be able to have our own, right? So it's like being able to teach them how to run a business, how to be financially self-sufficient, and even if you aren't fully financially self-sufficient, how to have a fallback plan, how to have multiple jobs, whatever it takes to be successful out here and not have to depend on one stream of income.
Okay, what were you saying?
No, I was about to tell you, what I mean, because I know it's getting late in the show. It's about to got about 10 minutes left. I know we got some announcements. About to say, you want to let them know?
Yes. So guys, for those who have been faithfully tuned into us on Thursdays, each and every week, we are switching it up on you guys. We are changing. We got a lot of stuff in the works that we're trying to do, and for those things to get done, we need to make things up, shake it up, and move things. So next week we will not be here. We will be taking the week off, and we will come back the second Monday of October.
Yeah.
I don't know the date offhand. Anybody know the date? And I look at the calendar.
Yeah.
So it's going to be October 7th. We will be here live at 10 p.m. sharp, bringing on new content for that week, and you will see us each and every Monday at 10 p.m. So catch us on Mondays. We're going to be earlier in the week, guys. We won't be later in the week, so you catch all the good stuff early in the week and then chill out. We know Thursdays now.
All right, you can enjoy your weekend and start your week with GFT Radio Show.
Exactly. We got so many fun things in store. Y'all know I got the walk coming up October 13th, so I'll be doing the walk for autism. We're gonna be doing we're gonna be like bringing into some more giving back to the community, whether it's through autism and different types of awarenesses that touch our hearts. We want to be able to bring that forth. We got we're working on a number of things. I know one of the things, Clint, what was one of the things that you wanted we're going to start working on with the scholarship
we
thing?
We're going to find one of the students from our local high school that's meet the requirements of the standard of what we're going to have for them, and if they meet those requirements, we're going to have like a little scholarship for them before they leave off to college.
Nice.
You know what I mean? To help them out. You know what I mean? I think, that'll be good. You know what I mean? Promoting education.
Absolutely.
That's nice.
We got so much that we're trying to do because we don't want to just talk about it. We want to actually be about it, and that's what we're trying to do. So as the weeks go on, we're going to be updating you guys every little thing that we're doing, putting together little events. I know I got to look at I'm trying to figure out a day to do like a little restaurant dining to donate towards autism, because that's near and dear to my heart. So we're going to be just doing a lot of different things with giving back.
Now, where is this walk at that you're doing?
Oh, so the walk is actually in Trenton this year. It's going to be at the ballpark, the park by the ballpark, by right off of 29.
Thunder Stadium?
Thunder Stadium. It's actually the park. So it's going to be the autism walk. Last year it was up at the ETS out in Princeton. This time it's going to be actually in Trenton. So I walk for my son. For those, Tanisha, I don't know if you've been listening, but my son is autistic. So we put a team together for him, and so far I've already reached close to my goal. My goal was 250. Now we're at 230. Plus, I've got dollar autism puzzle pieces. We're getting shirts made. We're going to have the team buy the shirts at a discounted rate, and that money is also being donated to the team effort. And we'll be collecting up until the end of the year for that. So that walk is going to be. I'm hoping we have a lot turnout. I'm trying to put together a big team. Last year I had a good enough team, but I'm trying to get not just family but family and friends to support. So I'm really excited about that. So, and it's a good cause. It's a lot of programs that Autism Speaks do to give out money towards local communities to, to educate teachers, district people, police officers, firefighters. They basically educate people how to deal with our special needs kids. So all that money goes to great causes. Like we already do the book bags every year. We donate book bags to book bag giveaways within our community. So we're just trying to give back. Like less talk, more action.
Definitely.
So, if you support what we're doing, you can always go to our Teespring, buy some shirts, buy some merchandise. We could put that money towards these scholarship efforts. So that's a definite way to earn some more scholarship money other than us giving our own money. We can, if you want to contribute, you can do that as well. We'll set aside that money to go towards those things. So it's a lot happening.
Sounds like it's very nice.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a Reynolds wrap.
That's how we're gonna wrap the show.
Yep. Y'all know where y'all can catch me. Well, first of all, we'd like to thank Tanisha for calling in.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for
joining us tonight.
Yeah,
thank you.
And the other caller, I'm bad with names.
Yes, we appreciate the caller from the Midwest who called in Fifth Gate. I'm gonna look that up.
I want to look that up too. That was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, y'all guys, y'all take care.
All right, thank you, and don't be a stranger.
Yeah. All right, bye.
All right.
I know y'all can catch me on my blog at kingstruth.com. I'm trying to get some more interviews on there, and I'm trying to get some more interviews to come on this
Absolutely.
podcast.
I think we should definitely do that.
Yeah.
And
catch me on
my
my Twitter.
But
Yeah, definitely. Catch me on my Twitter at eTrentonGroomy and IG at KingStruth609.
Willie?
You can get at me at Willie Styles everywhere on STYLEZ, WillieStyles.info for all my links, and catch me at Willie.Styles on Snapchat.
And of course, it's your girl, I am Sunny_D, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. My blog, although I've been neglecting you, baby, unreservedlyme.com. So check that out as well. Check out our Facebook page, gftradioshow.com. No, I'm sorry. That's our website, gftradioshow.com. Our Facebook page is GFT Radio Show. On Facebook, like it and follow it. You can catch any of our shows posted there. Random outbursts are posted there, stuff like that. So you can catch all that. Go on to iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, YouTube, and subscribe to our shows so you can catch them on the playback. We're on Instagram and Twitter at GFT_radio, so you can kind of link us up there and just follow us and see what we're doing, see what we're posting about. But definitely join us next Monday. I believe I said the 7th. We're coming on Mondays, guys. No more Thursdays. 10 p.m. Join us. You can't really say Stephen 7 days, Clint.
Nope. We'll see y'all soon.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Holla.